Newcomers at quarter time. Friday night football, second term about to get underway. There's the boy from Lake Grace. And away we go. Umpire's bouncing it well tonight. The Armed Forces singing well. It's all on song. Chance there for Judd. He's over the football. Can't do much with it. And the umpire calls for it again.
So they're the subs. Lockie New and Kane Lucas. Lucas, a West Australian, taken in the first dozen in the draft 3 seasons back. He's had a good season. Sub a couple of times now.
Eye contact, Hayden Ballantyne.
So
came over his shoulders back.
Who's giving the Ballantyne stats for frees, Dennis? What is he, 8-0 now in his favour?
8-0, yes.
So a little chip pass, slow, but he gets to Pearce. Now this next kick's going to be interesting and important. He's going to go very wide to Pavlich, and Pavlich caught underneath. That's a good mark.
He had to sit to spoil Henderson, but Pavlich was just good enough to be able to take that strong hands out in front.
Now he's one player that you give some hope from out here. I mean, he's a massive kick. The angle's difficult.
Had Mundy one out against Murphy there, and you see Murphy really calling his players back. Doesn't feel comfortable playing directly against a taller opponent out of the square.
So you can see the angle there and just how difficult this will be. Long, long way out, but we know he's a thumping kick. He's timed it well. He's got the distance, but it's a behind, always to the near side, closest to him. So a couple of famous captains, hasn't he? Rossline Revolt and Pavlich.
Pavlich playing his 18th game against Carlton. He's kicked 34 goals against them, including a 9. McPhee punches it out of bounds. That came in round 16 of 05.
Been good. McPhee was fantastic last week against Mill, and again playing on one of the smaller Carlton forwards.
Griffin backhands it down brilliantly. Fyfe, Ballantyne. Wonderful stuff out of the ruck. Ballantyne, can he finish? No, he can't. He hangs it out to the right.
Mention those clearance stats at quarter time. I think they're playing an extra man up around the stoppages, Fremantle, whereas Carlton are dropping that extra man back in defence. That's probably one of the reasons their clearance numbers are going okay.
There's Robinson. Still deep in his own defensive area.
Leave it on. Play on.
Told to play on now. Long ball towards the wing. Dawson, almost the juggled mark. Couldn't quite. Picked up there by Walker. Flings it out to no one in particular. Duffield again to Pavlich. Pavlich, the long kick down towards full forward. Always Carlton's ball. Onto the chest of Henderson. Henderson wheels wide. Delivers out towards the interchange gates. Well, it's 3-on-1 and the one prevails. Well done by Simpson. The kick, not good. He was trying to angle that more towards the boundary. Gallup came across to pick up the mark there. He was the intended one.
So Pavlich on the end of it. That's a good kick to Main. Simpson will be disappointed because he had Garlett short and on, and ill-directed kick in the turnover, and now Pavlich's spearing pass gets to Main. They're going to have to kick one of these, the Dockers.
Yeah, here's the kick here. It was just trying to get back, didn't get back, and probably a step enough to balance to get onto Garlett. Here's the counter-attack through the middle of the ground, and this kick is absolutely brilliant.
So what's happened with Pavlich? He's obviously gone into the mid for a bit of a run. He's had 2 or 3 kicks around the mid. So Chris Main. He hasn't missed a set shot this year, so pressure on, And that looks good. He's 5 for 5 in set shots and 7 out of 7 overall. Well, Genesee just had to take some chances. I mean, they've had more scoring shots. They've dominated the early minutes. They dominated, the first 15 minutes of the opening quarter, I guess, didn't they?
Yep. Just got to take your chances, as you say. It came down to one chance that wasn't taken there with Simpson. That was a terrible kick. He had the guy on, as we mentioned, well wide of Gallup. Even the ball coming to him was dangerous. I mean, it was 1-on-3, so Simpson did the right thing initially.
It's been hard to score tonight, but you get the ball into the hands of the right player in the middle of the ground. I mean, Pavlich didn't even think about it. He knew he could pass the ball 50 metres low and flat. He's the kind of bloke you want getting the ball in the centre square.
Dockers back on top then. They're up by 3.
Chris Judd being held by the arm.
Well, he's made his point once or twice to the umpires. He's got the free. Alongside the centre circles. Judd the high ball inside the 50. Going back McPhee. It might be a free to the man who was the meat in the sandwich.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, against you. Holding his arms, preventing him from contesting the field.
That's a fair enough call.
Thank you.
So White directly in front should get the quick reply.
Thank you. Push out.
Robinson and Ballantyne in the same pack there. Giving up a bit of steam. Meantime, White comes in and kicks the goal, which is far more important.
Had a quietish start, White, but he was one of the few Carlton players that had a good game last week. Didn't get goals, but had a lot of the ball. And he's such a force forward.
He looks like a guy, I reckon, who's just about set to go off for a big number. It sounds odd, but I reckon he got 5 earlier. It was against the Tigers, was it?
Lions. Against
Lions.
Yeah.
I knew it was one of those in the zoo,
You're
whoever
close,
it was.
yeah.
But set to go.
So there's the purple giant, looking on.
As Lee said, the hit-outs in favour of Carlton at the moment, but the clearances are in Fremantle's favour. There you go, 12-8.
So Aaron Sandilands with that knee injury with apparently some bleeding down to the calf, so not there tonight. Griffin gets his chance. That was a good handball by Barlow to Nate, run into hard Nate, but he stood up to, he couldn't quite hold, and then Russell to Gibbs, and Gibbs floats it out wide to Joseph. Missed one game in his first 2 seasons, Joseph, off the rookie list in that first year, and then struggled last year and now comes in for the first time this season with a couple of injuries. Jamison gets it from Henderson. Now to Murphy, and then Murphy, lovely kick to Garlett, and Garlett turns his man and gets onto the left foot and kicks the centre-half forward poorly, and Johnson cuts it off. So Johnson to go the spread to Broughton, and then Broughton with a careful kick. Crowley running hard. He's had a frustrating night, Crowley, so far. Things haven't quite gone his way.
Carlton by 3. Judd stands the mark. Crowley sends it beyond the wing. Pavlich works in front. Ball close to the boundary. Henderson kept it in. Confronted there by Broughton. That was a clever kick under the circumstances. So was that clever. Garlett almost broke for him. Waite feeds it back. Curnow kicks inside the forward 50. Well, the chaos ball does work on occasions. Walker goes into an open goal and kicks it. Sometimes the best laid plans of coaches can be thrown out the window with a kick like that. All the defensive strategies, and one ball that comes in like space junk. It's just bouncing around everywhere, and suddenly Walker was 4th in line. So it beat 3, came to him. He's got speed, turned around, and away he went and gets the goal. So it's great to see him back, Andrew Walker, star last season.
Just the mongrel punt that comes in, and it was Zach Dawson, unfortunately. The impressive thing for Carlton here is it's Andrew Walker's first game at the level. He had real speed when he took off and got the ball. That's one of his assets as a forward, so obviously conditioned well in his time out.
So they get a margin here. 56 goals last year, Walker. Beat Betts for the leading goal kicker at the club, both 50 plus, and Garlett was just behind them. So Hill to Barlow. They suddenly get a little breathing space, the Blues. Mundy out wide. Dygan quickly onto the mark. Interesting there. Now Mundy keeping it out wide. Does Main keep it in? He does. And then Main's high ball to full forward. Pavlich goes early, brings it down. Nobody lurking. And Henderson runs it over.
Come back out, 10 dot. 5 metres.
Not sure we'll ever see another deliberate behind.
Now, you've almost probably kick it out, and that's the way it's supposed to be. It's blokes who just want to kick or hand pass it through. They're the ones that are going to get pinned.
Jammers. Oh! Walker. Almost. He's over the football now. Needs to get it out. That ball's underneath him. The umpire said it was out, so we won't penalise him.
Welcome back, Andrew Walker.
That's a better sign. He's got spring in his legs than a sprint, isn't it?
Both pretty good.
That's really encouraging.
What a leap. He's done it before, too. I think in his very first game, which was against the West Coast Eagles, was best on ground with about 27 possessions. And I remember he took one of the marks of the season in that game, so he's no shrinking violet.
2 big fellas ahead of him, too, that he jumped on their shoulders.
Took that one at the MCG as well, didn't he? A couple of seasons back, as Scotland feeds it out wide to Murphy, who's been, by his lofty standards, pretty quiet tonight. Now he's in trouble, and I think he's holding it. Well, he made no attempt there, really, unless he had his arms pinned.
Third man up, Hampson. So both Cruiser and Hampson there. Fyfe just rolled it forward. Ballantyne couldn't get away from Joseph.
Really tested out the shoulder on that Fyfe just yet. He's playing more through the midfield. The first quarter is certainly playing cross half-back, finding the feel of the game, but hasn't really been worked over just yet.
But he's built his way into this match,
he's playing well.
Yep. He's done some constructive things. Clark could have almost taken it there. It was conceded in the ruck by Hampson. Not pretty at the moment, is it? I mean, it's pretty when the Blues have got it and when they can go forward.
Thanks, Mark.
When the ball comes out of the stoppages, both sides seem to be set up structurally to defend us. The turnovers, that's what's really created the few scoring shots.
His Armfield getting down low. Fyfe, Hill, and again, congestion and a ball up.
It's been quite a taxing way to play at the moment because it is contest after contest and very defensive. And it is a hot night, so fatigue will come into it.
Rucks go at it. Zach Clark up very high. At his feet, another scramble. Umpire lets them play. Griffin head down. Ducked, according to the umpire.
No, ducked. No, he ducked into it. He ducked into it. No.
Zach Clark sounds very much like Jack Clark. Played for East Fremantle. All-time great in Western Australia. 4 times All-Australian. 57 Sandover medalist. 4 times All-Australian. And in those years, you had to go to a carnival to be selected. There's Murphy. I think they were 3 years apart. There's Murphy. Defensive side of right centre wing then. Just starting to ease into the game as well. They need him. That's a beautiful kick. Spotted his man Hampson, who didn't see Duffield, hand passed it straight to him. Griffin's kick close to the boundary line. It's taken across by Joseph. You made the point before, Bruce, about Joseph. I think he and Ellard are the same player. Last year it was Ellard. Yep. Now it's back to Joseph.
And Curnow's a bit similar, isn't he? Curnow's probably keeping Ellard out of the game at the moment, but you're right. Both have had bursts where they've been automatic selections and then struggling. Fyfe, gee, did well there. Fyfe brilliantly to Ballantyne, changes direction and goes bang. How good was that?
Very.
Dennis Fyfe is something, isn't he?
He's a terrific player, isn't he? Those figures are mind-boggling, actually, that I did read earlier, putting it in perspective, I think, in his second season. 25 possessions a game, and some great names left lamenting in his wake when it comes to stats. And Ballantyne can play. I mean, he won a Sandover medal. He's a really, really good player.
Have to see how he gets this out. It's just so quick, isn't it? Just the outside handball. At the time, I thought he must have thrown it. It just looked like impossible to get a handball out from the position he was.
So Carlton lead it by 2. One down decisively by Hampson. Hill. Griffin did well, kept going, eyes only for the football. Pearce, searching kick inside the forward 50. Pavlich couldn't hang on, off the ground by Anthony. Gibbs comes across, suckers from long range and concedes a behind. Well done by Gibbs. Had to scuttle back.
That's the first time for the night there's been a clear centre clearance that's gone directly inside 50.
That's a nice kick too coming out. Got some length on it, and Robinson marks outside the 50. Invariably, both sides have been pinned down inside their 50, bringing it out. Well done by Murphy, kept it going. Well done by Hill. Bit of skill there, and the ball's out of bounds.
It's a bit of black caviar and Haylis with Murphy and Hill together.
Who's who?
Well, who's quicker? Black caviar's quicker than Haylis. I'm not sure about those two. So, where's that ball going? Nowhere at the moment, but that would be a good race.
Straight up, please, Clancee. Thanks, guys.
What about the comparison between Betts and Ballantyne as the best small forward in the competition?
Well, Betts kicks more goals. I mean, Ballantyne's most is 33 in a season. Betts got 50 last year, but Ballantyne's more mid in a way, isn't he?
Certainly tonight he's playing upfield. He's not playing forward third.
So here is Hill. Duffield, Dennis talked about what a productive opening term he had to centre half forward. And a Thornton quick off the mark. Talked about Jack Anthony last week, kicked a couple. Just started interchange, hasn't had an pack so far tonight.
Just hanging on to his spot, Bruce, as the ball goes towards half forward. Fremantle had the numbers initially, but Judd did brilliantly, got there quickly, gave it across to support Simpson, the high ball inside the forward. 50 bits! Well, Duffield would be annoyed with himself there. Seemed to have it covered, had the size, and yet Betts has taken the mark.
There's got to be contact though, Duff. There was no contact.
He's ability to push back. He knows where the flight of the ball is, so he blocks the space. He is strong. He's got that great ground level strength, and Duffield just couldn't get at it.
Can you take your eyes off the ball like that? He's definitely looked at Duffield.
Yeah, certainly the ball was a long way away when he initiated contact, Betts, wasn't it?
So in comes Betts. Puts it through. Well done. So it's starting to open up now.
Your goal's hard to get early, but as Dennis said, starting to flow a bit. Interesting one, Betts, too. I mean, the old 5 metres off, you know, with the ball within 5 metres too. I mean, the ball was nowhere near Betts. I think Duffield was probably stiff. Betts played it well, but he did get rid of Duffield, used the body, pushed him out when the ball was probably 15 metres away, I reckon. Took his eyes off it.
There's a great bit of play there by Eddie Betts just to maintain that front position. Still plenty of improvement in this Dockers side. Just going through their midfielders at the moment. They're really down on numbers. Mundy, Hill, Fyfe, Barlow and Crowley have only had 16 possessions between them. Now Murphy's had 10 alone for Carlton.
Gee, they are small numbers, and there's one coming for Barlow now. That goal for Betts, by the way, puts him in front of the Coleman medal at the early stages of this round. Hills kick out wide. Now Fyfe gets the bounce and Cruiser cleans him up. Back to Robinson, back to Cruiser, and then Cruiser gets some distance here. Duffield and also Simpson in a bit of a wrestle, and Ibbotson comes across. Now he's got a couple of options. He went down the middle. Tom talked about that the Dockers like to play the corridor, and particularly on this ground as they come wide. To McFarlane. Mzungu very short, not a great kick, but he marked it. So kick and a half in this. 24-31 the score. Mzungu uncertain. He's got Barlow short, and he's going to go to a contest. Main on the chest in front of Digan, gets to Mundy. Now Mundy needs to hold it up. It's a terrible kick. Well, that's a real disappointment. Scotland to Simpson, and now they're away, the Blues.
On the outer side, Walker. Time to redeem the situation here. Tim making the point about those midfielders, and suddenly they all bobbed up, but unfortunately it wasn't a good result for Mundy. Opportunity for Garlett. Still Garlett. Coming across his bow there was Ibbotson, and the ball rolls out of bounds. Now Cruiser could have hit him, I think, a lot harder.
I've been watching Nathan Fyfe, and when he does get hit like that, he has an amazing ability to get back up and just run with great economy. He's a fantastic athlete.
So Robinson did well to Hampson, and then it came to Walker, to Cruiser, Duffield, Ibbotson. Gee, that looked high. He did duck his head. Barlow. Heard the Barlow to Mundy. Gee, Tim's got him going, hasn't he, this midfield, Dennis?
He's amazing.
Jeez, they have not stopped getting the footy since he mentioned that they were averaging about 3 between them.
What was wrong with the Saints?
So Main to Ballantyne.
Thank you.
Ballantyne, now does he go down the line, take a chance and bring it in? He's brought in, good kick. Barlow. Now, Barlow off a step. Now he's gone to Griffin. At the back, no mark for Russell. Cruiser getting back. Curnow weaving this way, that way, and now finds some time and goes to a very safe option in Gibbs.
Gibbs, short one. There's White on the defensive 50. Jamison got Johnson in the air. Comes to Simpson. Comes over the top to Scotland. And Scotland closed down by Duffield, who comes up to stand the mark.
Just needed to get the ball slightly quicker to Eddie Betts. They had the outnumber on this side of the ground.
Scotland down towards the attacking 50. White has gone up ahead this time, having got the ball in the defensive 50, but he's nudged out of the contest early, and it goes out of bounds. So we've got a throw in. Fremantle trailing by 7. Plenty of the football. In this term, they've narrowed the possession gap. They still trail by 12. Cruiser, well done by the big fella. Got it down. Armfield couldn't control it. Fyfe falling to the ground. And Mundy's kick into space. Awkward bounce for Pavlich. Great tackle, Pavlich. Henderson. Scotland comes back to Jamison. Jamison coolly comes across the ground where it's 2-on-1. But the ball takes a Fremantle bounce and goes out of bounds.
Pav's had 2 big chances, hasn't he? One in the first quarter, one in that quarter, where had the ball just sat for him nicely, he may have gone into an open goal from about 60 out. Next goal, pretty important here. Carlton with a little lead, but the Dockers pressing. Joseph to Armfield, had Cruiser outside. Now Armfield's going to kick that mongrel type kick and try to get some time and space. McFarlane got it from Dawson. And then McFarlane, well, he got caught there a bit. He had to kick to a contest, and they need this ball now. Simpson, good tackle, terrific tackle, taken by Broughton. Broughton to Anthony, nice mark, protected the footy. Pavlich wants it quickly in. He's one out. He's taken a long time as Jack. And he goes short to Main. Not sure if he can go all the way, Main. Don't think he can. They need to construct here. They need a goal. Main comes wide. He had Clark the other side. Pavlich the target. And it's picked off pretty easily by Cruiser.
Had an opportunity to get the ball in one-on-one to Pavlich deep in the square. And even that kick to Main, saw what he was trying to do there was the space, but it was just too wide. Need to be close to goal in a more attacking position for a stoppage.
Such an admirable player as Cruiser. Doesn't seem to fluctuate. It's all about his effort. 100% all the time. He's in there again. When things aren't going for him, he plays the same way. Number 1 draft pick. Alongside Zach Clark. He came from a basketball background. Judd shrugs free. Muzungu was waiting for him. That's holding the ball.
Straight up, guys. Straight up, please, now. How you get? How you get, please? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
That'll be interesting. Judd saying he didn't have prior opportunity.
State football, actually, but...
Yeah, he looked like he broke the first tackle and got nailed the second time, so it looked like it was going to be a holding the ball. He got clear of that one. Whoa. Certainly not a lot of prior opportunity, but once you've broken one tackle, the second one will always get pinned.
Tendai doing a little tenderising. He's kicking from about 35 metres. And he misses. Gee, that was a big kick. Needed that goal. Margin 6 points in a low-scoring affair. 5-1 to 3-8. So yeah, that's right on the margin, that, isn't it? Either way.
Fair call or not, Lee? What did you think?
Yeah, I think it is a fair call. When you break the way, certainly didn't have much prior opportunity. If you break one tackle, the next bloke gets you. That'll normally be fairly automatic.
Might come back Barlow to centre half forward. Joseph. Does he break Pearce? Gee, Pearce got him down. Good tackle, and then Henderson. Robinson had a bit of an airy. Tough footy in there. Clark taken down. Baller. Lee set shots tonight. Carlton 3-0. 1-4 Fremantle.
Well, Carlton in front because 5-1. They've been accurate. 3-7 by Fremantle. They've missed their shots. Even game, but accuracy has got Carlton in front.
Gee, Pearce has got some upside, hasn't he? That was a great tackle. And then Pavlich just sort of gets it off Barlow in a funny sort of way, and it wasn't a great kick. Well,
touched off the boot, I think.
So now Joseph in trouble, can't get it out in the ball up.
Thank you. Thanks, mate. Ball's touch.
4.5 minutes out from half-time. 31 plays 25. Get the feeling this will be close all the way. Fremantle adopting a different style of footy. Pavlich, a strong body. De Boer a chance. Snaps, misses. Oh. Talk about strong bodies. A moment ago, Clancee Pearce was just waiting. He is thick and low built. Very hard to move. It was Joseph who ran into him, and now he may have run into Pavlich as well, so not ideal. Kick comes from Tui, virtually straight down the middle. Trying to change things up here a little bit. Walker had it, lost it. Judd falls over the top of it. Well done by Mundy. Muzungu back to Mundy. Into the path of Barlow. And Barlow virtually shins it. didn't get sweet contact there out to the right-hand side.
Double the scoring shots, Lee. 12-6 now.
Well, one of the things, I mean, they've got the 5 goals, Carlton, but Fremantle have been really good to stop the flow of the footy. So Carlton are very stop-start. When they get the ball running through the middle, then they look the most dangerous.
And so Gibbs gets it as far as he can. And the bounce.
I must say, the Cardinals' defensive mechanisms have been excellent as well.
I said Crowley had a frustrating night. He's certainly done the job on Judd, though. Judd, what, 5 disposals?
Yep. So he's hasn't been an influence at this point.
So the midfield, you feel in the last 10 minutes that the Dockers midfield has made inroads, haven't they? And here's Fyfe. Heard the call. Can Pavlich keep it down? Henderson uses his body. Clark, Pavlich and Gibbs. Gibbs was clever. And then Henderson not very far. Again, a shinny from Barlow. Joseph, geez, a battering ram, Joseph. The kick out wide. Murphy, good contest. Griffin couldn't bring him down. Murphy, well done to Tui. And then Tui, good kick, Tui. Gets about 50 metres. Weight front spot, McFarlane. That was a great contest. On a bit of a knife edge, isn't it, just before half-time. Dockers
just can't take the shot. Simple as that. They should be in front. They've done most parts of the game better, Fremantle, except the finishing.
Well, they might get another chance here, Lee.
Pearce had it smothered off the boot, though. Russell goes back. Flicks it across towards Henderson. Now a chance for the Blues on the outer side. Simpson. Walker's on the move. Ignores that. Just lobs it by hand. This is Scotland. Scotland, nice kick. Waite. He's about 75 metres from goal. Waite. More movement up ahead. Goes to Betts. That time Duffield got a fist in. Waite comes hard. Taken down by McPhee.
Jared! Hey, Jared, your free kick. Get up. Slung him down. No. The ball was out of bounds. The ball was out of bounds and threw him down.
So, that's a good result for Carlton.
So the call was that the ball's out of play. So free kick, McFarlane's big fist, Mzungu. Back to Johnson, and then Johnson's kick. He had to keep it low. McPhee, he'd be tired after that wrestle a moment ago. Griffin asked a lot. Did well, Griffin, actually, to go at Scotland hard, but it's a loose handball. Hampson couldn't quite. Armfield, pressure on Gibbs. He held up. Curnow just gets rid of the tackler. Tui normally good with the ball. He just goes out wide to Joseph. Joseph's got the Lucy on. It's Russell, and then Russell goes on again. Shows a bit of it. Too much in the end. Gibbs and also Hill. Gee, Hill's closing speed, so important there.
Yeah, good play, Hill. He was back blocking the space in the back 50, but then he knew he had to leave that space to affect that spoil. That's good instinctive defence.
So boundary throw in, counting down to half-time. Hampson lays it down, looking for Curnow. Fremantle needing to hold here. Curnow wrestled down by Mundy. The umpire will ball it up. We talked about that big second half by Hill last week. 19 possessions after a slow start. He's right on the edge of a big game too. It could be tonight in the second half again. His mum Stephanie has had a big week. His brother debuted for Hawthorn on this ground last Saturday night in the rain. Out of the congestion. Garlett getting back. Ibbotson. Now what can Fremantle do? They're down by 4 points. A minute and a half out from the major break. Short. Duffield coming up for his 17th possession. That's a nice kick. Found some space where there didn't appear to be any. Fyfe on his chest.
So Fyfe off a step. Good kick to Mundy. So they've done pretty well here, the Dockers. They've been able to get it a couple of kicks away from goal.
It's been the slowest ball movement half of footy I've seen this year, I reckon, that neither side can get any run and flow. It's just kick over the mark.
So Mundy's kick was touched off the boot. And back went Broughton to Fyfe. Oh, that's a terrible kick inside. And Carlton have got a chance now. Simpson off a step. And that's a goal. That hurts.
Well, we've had 9 goals kicked, and I reckon half of those have just been from errant turnovers. Both sides' defensive structures have been so good that the opposition moves a bit. Once they're held up a bit, are just neither side's finding their way through. But it's just this occasional turnover. The ball just went over the head of Ibbotson, and as soon as the ball was turned over in that part of the ground, well, Carlton had numbers going, and Simpson was the one who finished it. But really, it's the errant kick that has created that goal-scoring opportunity. Very, very hard to create goals unless the opposition makes a mistake.
Well, in this term, it's been 4 straight to 2-7. Who knows? That could tell the story at the end. Margin 10 points. And in this game, that's a pretty handy lead. Another goal, and suddenly there's daylight. Judd looking for that late goal. 40 seconds to go. Puts it on the chest of Waite. Now Waite can kick it a fair way.
Just on the 50, mate. Thanks. Stay out, please.
Directly in front. Waite in. Kick is on the way. Has it got the carry? It's going to be close. Hit the post. Son of a gun. Gee, that would have been big.
Mentally crushing, wouldn't it? Because So Dockers here, they're going to be disappointed. First behind for the Blues this quarter, but oh so close. Not many centre clearances tonight. That time Judd, who's had a quiet first half. So the Dockers will probably try and hold the clock here and eke out the seconds they need. Hill pushing forward and a boundary throw in. So those set shots, 1 goal 4, 2-7 in total in this term. And Carlton with a narrow but handy lead at half-time. What's in store for us after half-time? You would think the game will open up a bit. Pearce got his head down low. Armfield tried to get it out. Scotland back turn was okay to Curnow, and that's going to be it at half-time. So that late turnover goal was pretty important. And half-time here. And the Blues have the lead. Look at that scoreboard. It tells a lot. Just a quiet first half. He started at half forward, went into the middle. Pavlich has had a couple of chances. Done pretty well in close. So half-time here at Subiaco at Patersons Stadium. It's 27-38 on Friday Night Footy.